Hi, hello, welcome to the journal series. Today is the 17th of May, and today I want to talk about failure and dissect it and go deep down this rabbit hole. If you've been following me on this journal series, please comment the word journey, let me know. When I reflect on my life and I look at all the times I've experienced failure, this is how it generally goes, right? I will try some kind of venture. When I was young, I used to import MP3 players from China, Guangzhou, and I would import them into Australia, and then I would package them in boxes and then sell to my friends for double the price. Didn't have that many friends. I've tried this many times, and many times I would fail. And that would be the result of that general entrepreneurial experiment. I would fail, and that was the result. That was the outcome, failure. And when I was faced with this result, based on that failed result, I would then feel a series of complex emotions and thoughts would enter my head that were very negative, such as I would feel sad, I would feel disappointed, and then I'll think to myself, Vinh, you are a loser, you are pathetic, you're never going to become successful in life. It was really messy. But I'm basing all of those thoughts and those emotions only on one component of the journey, which was the outcome, which was the result, which I deemed as being failure. But I didn't think about all the steps that came before the result, all the steps that came before the outcome. In order for there to be some kind of result, in order for there to be some kind of outcome, well, the step before it was you had to have taken some kind of action. Because without any action, well, there is no result, right? So some kind of action must have taken place. And then if you go deeper down the rabbit hole with me, well, before the action, what's the step before that? Well, some kind of decision had to have been made. Because before you act, you tend to make a decision to act, and then you actually get the result, right? So you've got, again, result, outcome, some kind of action. Then if you go back further, then at some point you had to make a decision. But then what comes before the decision? Thinking. How you think leads to the quality and types of decisions you make. Can you see how there's actually a whole process that comes before the actual result and outcome? And depending on your quality of thinking, that will determine the quality of the decisions you make. And depending on the quality of the decisions you make, you'll start to affect the quality of the actions you take. And then depending on the quality of the actions, then it leads to the quality of outcome and result. So the point of failure may not just be in the outcome. I don't think that's where failure lives. I think failure can live in any particular part of that path that I just mapped out. For example, so you got the outcome, you got the result. Then the step before that is the action. So what that means is when you are taking action on something, maybe you're failing because your quality of execution isn't very good. That's a point of failure. So it could be your execution ability. So it's not that I'm pathetic, I'm a loser, I'll never be able to amount to anything. No. All it is just improve your quality of execution. And if you improve your quality of execution, you're going to be able to improve your quality of results. That's it. That's all that it is. Or, again, another point of failure, what comes before the action, decision, right? So maybe you are good at execution, but the way you make decisions, it's not effective. What frameworks do you use? What mental models do you use to be able to make decisions? That could also be a point of failure. Maybe you're doing the right thing at the wrong time. And what's that referring to? That's referring to prioritization. How do you know when to make which decision? Are you prioritizing your actions well? So again, that could also be a point of failure. And then there could also be another point of failure that comes before the decision, which is the type of thinking. How is your quality of thinking? I want you to just imagine this for a moment. Wherever you are in life right now, and by the way, if you're vibing with what I'm saying and you feel like, I get what you're saying, then drop an emoji that represents how you feel right now. So it could be a confused face, a fire emoji if you think it's fire, maybe a water emoji if you think it's rather crap. It's okay. You feel what you feel. But if we use this example as being you, imagine when you were 12 and you were trying to solve a complex problem that you encounter in your 30s, like how you're going to invest. Would that 12-year-old version of you be able to have the quality of thinking that's going to be able to solve that problem? No, unless you're a bloody genius, no. As we get older, we encounter more complex problems that require us to have a better operating system up here. So again, how do we improve our quality of thinking? Because here's the reality. Just because someone is older doesn't mean they automatically have better quality thinking. You have to go through system updates, operating system updates, to ensure that as you grow older, with age, you're also developing more wisdom, you're collecting more intelligence, you're becoming wiser, etc. That doesn't just automatically happen, it requires conscious effort. So therefore, how do you improve your quality of thinking? And to me, I believe that the way you improve your quality of thinking is through learning. And the mode of learning that I enjoy the most is reading. And I find that as I read more, I'm able to improve my quality of thinking. And through taking lots of action as well, I'm able to take that thinking, apply it, and then see what the result is. And then I've got this feedback loop now where I can go, oh, okay, so this new way of thinking led to a new series of decisions, which led to a new series of actions, which led to a new series of results. Which was such a powerful lesson for me, because I used to base all of the things that I feel, and I used to base the way that I think in my life purely just on the outcome component of that entire process. And I would often make the assumption that, I'm not capable, I'm never going to amount to anything, man, my life just sucks and it's going to suck forever. No. You're just looking at you're just looking at the outcome and the result that's the closest to you. You're not thinking about, okay, well, again, I'm just going to repeat it for the 10th time, but don't just look at the result and the outcome that's occurred. Look at the actions that were taken. Was the execution done well? Then go back again. If the execution's all good, let's do another check. What about the decision-making process? Do you have strong frameworks to allow you to make the optimal decisions in the right moment in your life? Do you have a good prioritization system? Right? And then before that, how's your thinking? Realizing this has made me more optimistic. Right? I mean, we see a lot of posts on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. There are these extremely inspirational quotes that's generally kind of behind a picture of a lion that says, be positive. I don't think lions are very positive. They seem rather cunning, but anyway. I think this is a pragmatic way on how you can become more optimistic and more positive, is to realize that failure is not just some single moment. There's a whole process that may have led to that outcome. And the point of failure could have occurred anywhere along that path. And just because you experience some kind of result does not mean that's the result you're always going to get, especially if you're now aware of the entire process. Go back and do the check. And I believe that as you start to be able to identify where the point of failure is, you can then change the way you think. You can then change the way you make decisions. You can then change the way you're able to execute and take action, which will then ultimately lead to a different outcome and a different result. What do you think? I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'm just going to crawl back to the camera now to turn it off because it's never elegant, really. It's kind of awkward and weird.